Hi, I'm Shannon.
And I'm Nicole.
Welcome to our Late Over, where we eat yummy snacks,
Share binge-worthy entertainment,
play games, and gossip.
but you have to go home early because we're not allowed to have sleepovers.
So let's get going before your mom gets here to pick you up.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode and another late night hangout with me, Nicole, the little sister of the group, and my big sister, Shannon.
Hello, the big sister of the group.
How are we doing this week? How are we feeling?
We are feeling in normal life. That's how we're feeling. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling opposite of normal life. And because school has been closed for the past 3 days.
Yeah, the tornado virus happening in Tennessee. Yeah. Tell us about this.
Like the flooding and everything that's been going on. A lot of people can't drive. A lot of people have lost their homes because the flooding's just so bad, and it still hasn't even crested, which I guess is a flooding term that I had to learn. But that, even after the rain stops, the height of the rivers and stuff, they have not crested. They're going to keep rising as all of the water flow keeps coming down. So
the rain comes down and the floods come up.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
The rains came. Did it go? The rains came tumbling down.
Rains came tumbling. Yeah. The rains came down. Yeah. Something like that.
Okay.
So anyway, I feel a little bit
That's a weird word.
Not normal life, but it is kind of normal. I still am working normal hours and everything like that. It just feels a little bit backwards because we've been kind of trapped at home, and
the schedule's messed up.
Yeah, it's just weird because it's this just happened. This just happened 5 weeks ago when we had that crazy snowstorm and school was closed for 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like we need some weather preparation.
Right.
Some better preparation and management of the weather. If this continues to happen, it's kind of I feel like that's a sign. So,
well, I wonder if your area does the same thing as what ours does, where it's the county does virtual days, but because of that, all the other schools that are based on the county, like our preschool, will cancel if there's virtual days. So I wonder if it's the same. So the kids in the county are doing actual virtual days, and they're more likely to just say, okay, let's just close the school for a couple days. We can just do virtual days. But then, people who follow that schedule get kind of screwed over.
Yeah. Yeah. Bentley School follows the schedule of the county. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's just kind of that. We're also having a bug infestation in our bathroom downstairs. I don't know what they are.
What kind of bug? What do they look like?
They're microscopic. They're super, super small. And we have determined that they are not termites because they're too big to be termites. They're too small to be termites.
Are they round, and do they like the windowsill?
Yes.
Okay. They are carpet beetles. I am betting you. Because we have the same little guys. They almost look like tiny brown ladybugs. Like teeny tiny.
Yeah,
maybe?
If I could zoom in far enough, I think that's what it would be. They're teeny. And that's why we we ruled out termites, and we ruled out bed bugs because they're just too small. So
carpet beetles, they don't bite. They don't bite. They're not gross. It's just that they kind of hatch in the spring, and they can get in through your windows, and they like the light, and you can just vacuum them up or spray your windows and your baseboards with bug killer, and that'll keep a little barrier out. But my laundry room, for whatever reason, and that's on the second floor, gets them crazy. We pulled out our dryer and there were so many under there. But they're really not damaging or anything. So at least it's that. But it's very weird.
And we tried to wipe them by my nanny was trying to clean them up for me.
Go, Katie.
And she's thanks, Katie. She wiped them, and she's it made a huge blood streak. I don't know how there was so much blood in that little guy, but it was crazy. So she's I just stopped.
I don't like that.
I know. Ew. So anyway, so that's the only other thing that's really happening for us. I keep messing with my hair.
Awesome.
So anyway, that's basically it. But other than that, everything's been fairly normal besides the rain. So that's pretty much everything. All the updates for me. How about updates for you? And then we can update everybody on the rest of our trip and how it went.
Well, Jared and I played a little tag team, like, relay race. I was out of town last weekend with you, and then he was out of town this past weekend. He is going on a week-long scuba diving trip in May, and so he went down to his sister's house in Florida for a little practice dive situation. So it was just me with the kids this weekend, and my project that I tackled was our closet. And I've mentioned on here before, we've lived here for a long time, and I love this house, but I have to maximize all the space we have in it, and our closet has been probably my biggest annoyance for the past couple of years, because I just wish it was a little bit bigger. So instead of doing some massive renovation or, shelf installation, I got a nice dresser that I put together and I put in there that I used. I reorganized. I got some little shelf dividers, and I spent, 2.5 days going through absolutely everything in there. It looks amazing. And Jared came home last night really late. His flight was really delayed. But he was like, oh my gosh, it was like a whole new closet. So I'm very proud that I worked very hard on it. So it's a closet of dressers, but it works. It's organized.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the same thing, except for we don't have nice dressers in ours. We just have those like plastic drawers. But our closet closet's probably half your guys' closet size, but it's bigger than ours.
I'm kind of spoiled.
It's way bigger. Ours used to be teeny tiny, even in the master bedroom, because somebody had done a renovation in our previous house, and I think they made the closet smaller because I don't know what they did. Anyway, it was really weird, but we had basically no closet space. Now we have a little bit more. We at least have two sides. Our other closet was only one side. It's like kind of a little hallway. And so ours is like that as well, but it only has two shelves. And so we do the like plastic shelves or the plastic drawers, the
underneath, right?
Whatever. Yeah, underneath everything.
Yeah.
And then on top of those just sits my piles of clothes that I clean up 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Because I change my outfit all day, every day.
I told Nicole was like, oh, I should have used you to look at my closet last weekend. I said, I'll do a virtual consult because we can figure it out. I know. I'm spoiled now. Our last house in Utah only had like folding doors. Like it was not a walk-in. It was just open, and there was just like shelves and this much. It was so dumb. And so I used another bedroom's closet, but it was just another, I don't know. It was so dumb. So this seemed like a huge upgrade, and it's a nice closet. I don't mean to complain. I just, as I get a little older and have some more tastes and things, and I cycle out my seasons of clothes and things, I just wish I had a little bit more space. But this is perfect. I've solved the problem. So yeah, I feel very accomplished.
That reminds me, when we were shopping for our first house, our realtor in San Antonio was kind of a more established woman. And as we were like looking at houses and stuff, she's like, well, she started referring to like, well, we have my winter closet and whatever. And then we have like the summer closet over here. And she's like, we like go in, like, I think we were like touring the one closet. She's like, this one's all right. Like it's kind of small. I think this is about the size of like my winter closet or something.
Oh my gosh. Go off,
like,
queen.
Yeah, girl, you rich. We get it.
She's dropping minor hints. Like, you should trust me. I know what I'm doing. That's so funny.
Yeah, we love her. She was the best. But yeah, we just a little bit of closet drama. We'd never even heard of that as a concept. We're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Some people have winter and summer closets.
Okay. Oh man. Well, we ended up having a great rest of our weekend last weekend. We got a little fun surprise. My flight did end up getting essentially canceled Sunday night. So I got to go back to Nicole's house and see the kids, spend the night, and got to spend the morning with little Brooklyn, and yeah, just got a couple extra hours, and it was delightful.
Yeah, we were happy to have you. It was a bonus surprise. I know that it was last minute, but also we were both like just watching the weather and watching the flight, just holding our breath, and then holding our breaths. And then all of a sudden it got delayed enough. And as soon as Shannon was able to reschedule it for the next day, we were both just like, whew, okay, we feel much better about this whole thing.
We were anxious. Like, it got delayed by several hours. It got delayed by several hours and then bumped back. But then we knew this bad weather was coming, and Southwest would only reschedule me if it was an over 2-hour delay. So it was at like an hour and 45 minutes for a couple of hours. And I was like, freaking A, I'm going to get stuck overnight in the airport, which is fine. So I put a bunch of stuff in my carry-on just in case and all the stuff. But I was stressed. We were stressed. And then as soon as it changed, I was able to fix it. So honestly, shout out to Southwest. I think like they answered my call super fast. It was no big deal. My flight the next day was great. And honestly, I know people like get bugged with Southwest and say how it's changed and stuff, but I've always had good experiences. So, and I know their policies are changing this next month maybe. Yeah. But anyway, shout out to Southwest. Sponsor me.
Yeah, we would gladly be sponsored by Southwest. But yeah, everything
so that was fun.
According to plan, we went to this really fun market, got delicious coffee. We got some cute bracelets. I'm wearing 2 bracelets I got last week. First one was a little beaded bracelet. The other one was permanent jewelry that we got. We said to guess what jewelry we're putting on our bodies for these bracelets.
It was a bracelet with a little heart on it. How have you adjusted to your permanent bracelet? How do you feel?
I love it. I absolutely love it. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't even notice it.
Good. That's good.
How does yours?
Mine has... It's mostly fine a couple times at night, but I got a chunkier chain than you did. It's a little bit at night. Sometimes it'll roll back and kind of pinch me a little bit, or not pinch, but just kind of like press into my skin. Yeah. And I knew that this would be the other problem. I knew it when I lift and I use my straps. It's like, where do I put the bracelet? Because it kind of just like digs in, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Other than that, I love it. And it's just so fun having something that I don't even have to take off and put back on.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done, nice. I usually only use straps for deadlifts, and I haven't done deadlifts this week. Yeah. So. But our favorite part of the trip, I think, was Saturday night. We went country dancing. And this started out with kind of a fiasco of parking at the Opry Hills Mall in Nashville, which
bananas.
Is crazy. It probably took us 20 minutes to find a parking spot.
Yeah.
And it was like
at least
20 minutes to walk. We just wanted to go to Chewy's, which, by the way, not good.
Bad Chewy's.
Bad Chewy's.
Good marks, bad food.
Yeah. Great drinks, great chips. Not great food. But we went there, and then we headed on over to the Nashville Palace, where we did some country dance lessons. And then we did some country
and our
dancing.
matching cowgirl boots.
Matching cowgirl boots. And we also acted like we knew pretty much every country dance that they were doing. We went on to the stage, our stage, which was the dance floor. And
but we were front and center.
But we might have annoyed a couple people, but we did try to catch on.
I don't think we annoyed anyone. I think anybody out there was just like, hey, great job trying, you know? Yeah.
And there was a few we caught on to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there was a few that I did not catch on to. The Ed Sheeran Shivers one.
Oh my gosh.
Was out there just hopping around.
I think they go diagonal at one point, and I could not catch on. But,
I could not. I was a little gone at that point, too. So.
And my feet hurt so bad all of last week from those cowgirl boots, which I didn't know they were hurting bad. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, my feet hurt very bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have like a sore on my ankle, part of it like cut into my foot, but it was worth it. I would do it again and I would wear my cowgirl boots because nobody could stop me in those cowgirl boots. I was the moment, and we were the moment, and we had a great time.
We were just like kind of low-key yelling at people, complimenting them, obsessing over random strangers.
Aggressive kindness. Yes. I love your tights!
But that was super fun. So
yeah, it was so fun. So yeah, that market was great. We had the best, honestly, the best weekend. We painted. My painting is in here. Jax popped in. I just hung that up yesterday because I was going through the rest of my stuff. And Jax popped in and he was like, "Is that Starry Night? How did you get that?" And I said, "I painted it." And he was like with paint? He was shocked. It's like, "When did you do this? How did you do this? Where did you do this?" I'm like, "I went to a class." And he's like, "Oh. So it's not like you just came up with it in your brain." I'm like, "No, it's based on the painting that you said." He was very impressed. So,
how did you acquire this?
Did you steal this? Is that the real Starry Night? Yeah. So yeah, our Pwat went. It was so fun. Our host, I think her name was Allie, our teacher.
Something like
she
that.
was great, and I had a great time. It was so fun.
Yeah, I literally have no complaints about the whole thing. We did also do this charcuterie place where it was like they put charcuterie plates on a conveyor belt, and then you have to kind of look at the menu and look at the item and kind of match it up, and then when you find something you like, you just take it off the conveyor belt.
It's like a sushi one, but this was charcuterie. So they had different cheeses and honey and cured meats and crackers, and oh my gosh, it was just the experience, the vibe alone, amazing.
And Shannon also assisted an old lady in stealing from the conveyor belt.
These people just like walked up, and this woman just like I thought that the host had brought them over. Okay, they're very strict because the whole thing, it's like open, it's not in a room, it's open to kind of like the mall area, I guess I would call it. It's small, but so you could just walk up. This old woman walks up and just grabs a plate off the conveyor belt. So I thought that they were gonna sit there and she was grabbing it, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, just look, she had already grabbed it." Okay, I did not grab anything, but she just is holding this thing. The manager lady comes over and she's like, "Okay," and after she took it, I said, "I think that's yours now."
Yeah, she was trying to put it back, and Shannon was like, "No.
You can't just put it back now." And I'm like trying to handle it, and I was trying to explain. They were very confused, and to be fair, it is not a very common concept. So this lady was like, "Why is there food coming at me? I must take it," you know?
And there's just like signs everywhere, like, "Please see hostess to be seated."
Yeah, so I think they figured it out, but that one was theirs. And the manager was like, "Yeah, so you can't put it back. So
like, this is yours.
Are you gonna
so
pay
you
for
have
this?"
To pay for this.
Okay.
Super awkward.
So, but yeah, we had a great time. So great. What is going on?
I don't know. Do you want to introduce snack time? Or I thought maybe that was the end.
Oh. You just stopped talking. I was like, "Are you okay? Are you having a stroke?"
Well, I don't know. I said, "Yeah, it was great." And you're like, "Yeah, it was great." And then I didn't want to be like, "Yeah, it was great."
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the group?
No, that was perfect. An abrupt end.
Hey, I'm getting hungry. Can you go ask your mom for a snack? Yeah. Do you want salty or sweet?
Both.
Welcome back to snack time. Getting a little peckish, a little hungry. Nicole, what snack would you like to start us off with?
I'm going to start with a salty snack today, and we kind of already covered it, but I'm going to go into a little bit of specifics that my salty snack is Tornado Watch /morning.
Okay.
I am still very new to this experience, but it is pretty serious in this area that I'm in. And we found this out the hard way, and also a very lucky way, when a terrible tornado hit Clarksville, where I live, in December of 2023, which was the first year. We had only been there a couple of months, when all of a sudden we started getting alerts on our phone: tornado watch, tornado warning. And the only thing I know of tornado warnings is I kind of forgot the difference, because I kind of have never really had a ton of experience with them.
Mm-hmm.
we were literally napping on the couch. The kids were both napping upstairs. The tornado warning happened, and then it said it was over, and we're like, okay, cool. And then come to find out that all over this city, people's homes were leveled. There is still areas of the city, over a year later that have not been repaired since this tornado. And it's super, super dangerous. So obviously after that happened, we've been very, very weather aware. And I follow all these meteorologists and I try to kind of figure out, okay, how serious is this looking? And they all come in and there's things that start to look serious and we kind of keep it in mind and then it kind of backs away or whatever. But this past week, again, which was the second time in the past month, it was this huge thing. Oh my gosh, here's all the patterns. Here's what's going to happen. Here's how everything is coming together. All the ingredients are working together for a perfect tornado. And so then we get all like, okay, what are we supposed to do? We can't ignore this because it's actually serious in this area. And so our only safe spot is in the pantry. And so we have to empty out the bottom half of our pantry and put bags together and then just basically sit tight. And, I'm glad that we have the warnings and everything like that, but I'm also just kind of like, ugh. So then we're just have our eyes glued to Ryan Hall, y'all. And he's the one who covers a ton of the tornado activity happening. We're just sitting there waiting, hoping that he doesn't say our, town name. But anyway, it's just tiring and to stay on top of it and to stay on top of all the storms and everything like that. And then also trying to decipher, when is this an actual thing and when is it not? But also right. We don't joke with the weather in this house. We don't mess with that. I don't think it is a waste of time to be weather aware. I don't think it's a waste of time. I'm totally in the better safe than sorry situation. I just need my safe to be faster. And that's the project. We have to make go bags. We do have a 72 hour kit, but that's more for, in my mind, okay, we need to exit the house and survive, So we have a 72 hour kit, but I need to pack tornado go bags so that we can basically not prep for the tornado until it's kind of happening. Until we're okay, the storm's actually here. We know when that's happening because we can watch a ton of news and know, okay, in the next 20 minutes is going to be here. Let's set up our safe space just in case. So,
yeah.
Anyway, salty about the weather, but more so just salty about trying to decipher and prepare for this weather that can be so incredibly damaging. I mean, the floods that I have mentioned, there's people who it turned into kind of wow, we're, the water levels rising to within an hour. Oh my gosh, we're trapped in our house. We can't go anywhere. We can't leave. The flood is terrible. That type of stuff. It's just so crazy. So I'm salty about that. And I'm very, very tired of the tornado situation, but tornado season I think we're still right in the smack dab middle of it. So I don't think it's ending anytime soon.
Yeah. I know the tornadoes there have been so crazy, and it's exhausting to always be, okay, what's going on? It's this level of anxiety on top of absolutely everything else of okay, well, do I take this seriously? It's very annoying. So valid salty.
So I think we pretty much decided that if we, I want to say by some miracle, but I'm very much manifesting that we're going to stay here. And when we get that notification that we're going to stay here, we will likely be installing a tornado shelter because then we can be down there in 5 minutes, and we'll have everything there that we need to. We don't need to be clearing things out to make space for safety. It's just going to be there. It is exhausting to kind of be on edge. Totally. And then when you think you're good, it's all of a sudden we were like, okay, we're good. And we were heading to the mall and then we just start looking at this cloud. And everybody's sitting and waiting. They said, okay, and then that's when we started finding out we're on our way to the mall. And we start finding out, we're getting rotation over Clarksville right now. And we're on the road. And we can see this cloud and we see it moving. We're just okay, get to the mall, which honestly, the mall is probably safer for us than our house, to be honest.
Probably.
And we were already there, so almost there. So anyway, we're just watching it and we're driving and all of a sudden we can see the sheets of rain and there's a dry part of the street and then a wet part of the street. We're like, here we go. We get into it. It's just boom, like all of this
Yeah.
crazy rain. It was actually kind of cool just to see the sheet of rain, but anyway. So that's all about the weather.
Yeah, man. No, that's scary and also good to take it seriously. I mean, it's hard because it's like, well, the chances of, you know, it leveling your house are very low. But like you've seen that happen right near your house. So it's like, okay, it's low, but I've seen it happen and this is serious. And I mean, you know, we have tornadoes occasionally come through here, but a lot of it is flooding issues. And I know all Asheville got absolutely punched in the face with Helene coming through last year. And I mean, a lot of parts of Charlotte got it too. And it's just, it's hard because I think especially older people are like, oh, well, we've been through a million storms. I can't worry about it, which I do understand. But it's like, well, especially if we have to be taking care of small children, we need to make sure they're safe. So, yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing with like the tornadoes, that it's like, it's nice to have comfort that in many, many cases, houses are usually fine, especially if you're in your safe space, which I've learned so much about and seen so many, okay, post tornado, what part of the structure stays? And they're right. It's the part that wasn't touching any windows, but then there is that risk, especially when you're upstairs, which this happened to a ton of people. Their upstairs windows out of nowhere just, you know, they just completely burst open. And so, yeah, just being, I guess, weather aware is worth it. And I mean, even this storm, like they thought it was going to come to us. It still came. There was horrible tornadoes this past week. Many tornado deaths happened this past week. And they thought those storms were coming for us. They were coming for us. So anyway, that's all. That's all about the weather. That's my salty. What's your salty? Or sweet.
Okay, well,
Serve whatever you'd like.
I will start with salty. I was at the gym this morning and a man was using the back extension little machine. And he was on it for a while. I was waiting. And he is done. He just picks up his stuff and he just walks away. And I, on purpose, walked up to him and took my earbud out and I said, "Are you done?" He said, "Oh yeah, I'm finished. It's all yours." I'm like, "Thank you." I walked the 2 steps to the little wipes, very obviously, grab a wipe, and I wipe down the freaking machine. "Excuse me, sir, your ball sweat was just all over this pad. I don't want that touching my body. You're disgusting." And people are gross. And the gym harvests all sorts of bacteria. In fact, that's part of why I stopped going to the gym last year for several months, because it just grossed me out. Even no matter how many wipes I used, it's just like, men are like spitting in there. And like, what is happening? I just am so confused about the common decency. Now, it's not all men. Some men are, they'll grab a wipe, okay? But if my swass is on the seat, okay? I am responsible for cleaning that up. Come on, be real. Yeah. And I get not wiping down, like if you're doing barbell stuff, you don't have to go wipe down the barbell. You like, that is a personal thing. But that's different than sitting on a bench or using a machine, you know? Anyway, it was gross and more people should be shamed about that. And I've deemed that it is now my job to do it at the gym. And I'll just like, "Oh, are you done? Let me clean up your mess. Gross boy, you're probably single. Bye."
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, boy. So yeah, that's it. I'm salty about that. I'm salty about people being nasty. Yeah, nasty.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's so inconsiderate. And
absolutely,
it takes basically no time. They put in my gym, I've never seen a gym. Like, I haven't been involved in that many gyms, but I've really never seen a gym as bad as this one. Not to say that's the worst ever or anything like that. It's just the gym, the worst gym I participated in. And I see so many people just like, "Oh yeah, no big deal that my shirt is soaking." And I just left that machine just like as it is. Yeah. It's just like, come on.
Along with that, this might be a hot take. So tell me if I'm wrong about this. But if you are an excessive sweater, you have no business sprinting on the public treadmills. I'm sorry. If you are sprinting and your sweat is spraying so that the treadmills next to you are being brutally attacked, get a treadmill for your house. That is disgusting. Like, I'm not okay with that, okay?
I don't know if I agree
Your sweat
with
should
you.
not be touching my body.
Actually, okay, so I will say I
You would
half
agree with me if you were doing that and a man's sweat was flinging into your eyeballs.
Yeah. I will say if it's flinging outside of your vicinity, then that's a little excessive. Maybe just take it a little easy or go outside or something.
Yeah. Yeah, or like, use it to walk. I don't care if you're sprinting on the treadmill. Go for it. I also don't care if you're sweaty. I get it. But if you are, like, weeping from all pores and
just like
your action is flinging your sweat like a small cyclone, please remove yourself. Slow down. Stop the active movement that is causing your bodily fluids to attack someone else. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. There we go.
There we go.
That was a good one.
Too salty,
right,
especially salty with the sweat.
Yes, sweaty, salty. What is do you have a sweet?
I do have a sweet.
Okay.
You can kind of tell, but I got the Wavy Talk Ion Curler.
Love that.
And I did this really, really quickly, and so it's not as good as it actually is, but if you have very straight, I can only speak for the straight soft hair girlies, but if you have the straight soft hair, the Wavy Talk I don't know what it is, curler wand, it has little bristles on it.
Does it blow air?
No, it doesn't, which I was surprised. I thought it did, but no, it's just like a hot tool. Yeah, it's
okay,
just a hot tool. And it has like a little grippy on the other
intrigued.
side, so you can kind of just, it's kind of, anyway, you just kind of go like this with, you kind of take your hair and you can either, my hair has basically no texture. I think if I had a texturizer, this would work a little bit better. And you could actually just sit there and roll it and kind of curl it. My hair won't even stick in the bristles, especially not my top hair, which is my softest hair. And so I kind of have to wrap it around and then just pull it straight down, and it'll create these like really big curls. Almost like, it's like a blowout. And so if you are wanting to give yourself a blowout, or as I say in private in my head, but I'll share with you guys, I call it giving myself a blowjob.
Give yourself a really good blowjob.
Give yourself a really good blowjob with this little curler. And it really does look like you had a perfect blowout. So anyway, I can't speak to how it would work with curly hair, like if it would straighten it or how it would behave, but I really like it, and I like having a new hairstyle that actually works, and it's actually been staying as well, which is rare for me to find something that actually stays well.
So question, do you blow dry it first, or do you just let it air dry?
I blow dry it first.
Okay.
You are not supposed to have any wet hair on it as a follow-up. But yeah, you have to have your hair completely dry, because it's just like a hot tool. So it just has a brush associated with it, attached to it.
I feel there are so many times where I have thought, I wish my hot tools had a brush on it, but not a blow dryer situation. Yeah. So I didn't know that. I thought it was a blower. I would like to experiment with this.
I think
How much was it?
I don't remember. Like $35. Not bad.
That's not bad. I feel like everything is $35.
I know. It's like probably around $35. I don't know.
That's like the price point for everything. Like, it's just like, and it's not just like we're thinking it. It actually is $35.
It actually is
Everything
$35.
is $35.
35 is the new 20. Am I right?
Probably. Oh my gosh, it makes me ill. Okay, well, cool. You sold me. I would like to try that.
Yeah, give it a shot. And I think my hair looks very shiny. It looks very smooth.
It does.
And it's like it's almost like it does what I need a straightener to do, but because it has that brush, I feel like it takes out the frizz really well. Yeah,
so smooths
for my video listeners, I mean, look at that hair.
Looks great. Absolutely.
Yeah. Good. So yeah, what's your sweet?
Good sweet. My sweet, which would normally be a binge, but we're kind of shaking things up this episode. But I have to talk about Eternal Sunshine, Brighter Days Ahead, deluxe version from Ariana Grande. Okay, we all know I'm a hyperfixation girly, and when something enters the hyperfixation area of my brain, the dopamine that I get from that thing is just like an IV drip. And I cannot stop listening. I've listened to the album. I listened to it when it came out last year, and it's good. I love her voice. I listened to the whole album several times. But the deluxe, those 5 new songs, plus just hyperfixating on a couple of the other original songs that didn't get as popular or weren't singles, I can't stop. It's so good. Eternal Sunshine, that song, her vocal layering and all these songs, absolutely, I'm levitating. She has that song, Past Life, and she says, let the music confiscate my soul. And I could truly, the music has confiscated my soul. And it just, I feel like it's going to win Album of the Year. I feel like it should win Album of the Year. And here's your sign if you haven't listened to it. If you're under a rock, I mean, it's like the biggest album right now. Yeah. But go listen to it because, oh my gosh, I can't get enough. So.
Yeah, I haven't had a great time to actually sit down and actively listen to it, but I've had it playing in the background in my ear holes, in my big, like, soundproof headphones while I'm working and focusing. And it's the exact type of music that I like to have when I need, like, it's like when I'm having a hard time focusing and I need a dopamine hit in the background that's not going to be distracting. Right. Ariana Grande's, like, that album, the other one that does it is the Gracie Abrams album. It's the same type of it to me. It like registers in my brain the same type of way.
Gotcha.
And it helps me focus because it's that dopamine hit in the background. But
I know I was doing my closet. I built that dresser. I was organizing. I think I listened to the whole album probably 9 times this past weekend. Wow. I mean, it's not very long, to be fair. Yeah. But yeah, it's just exactly. It's the perfect put in the background. But also, if you can blast it and get the vibes really in the brain. The dancing, so good. But also the lyrics. And somebody said, what do they call her? Blockiana, where Ariana Grande is like black, but she's not black. Oh. She's actually Latina, but she's been Glindified since she's done Wicked. And so like white Ariana Grande has been around, but this has brought back Blackiana. Yeah. But she's got, the rhythm with her Latina-ness and, anyway, but I think sometimes she can be a little bit hard to understand the lyrics, which not in an annoying way, but she's doesn't enunciate super well. But actually listening to the lyrics and hearing what they are, I'm like, oh, she's so good. The way that she plays with words is so good. And I love that revelation. So yeah, can't recommend it enough. And I'm just squeezing that album for all it'll give me.
Totally. And yeah, I bet it'll win Album of the Year. It's only April, but I mean, can it get much better?
Well, Taylor's not going to release anything else. She's tired of all of us. And I don't blame her. She's like, you guys suck.
I have an idea. Let's play Truth or Dare. Okay, but it cannot get as crazy as last time. My mom got so mad at me.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to another segment of Truth or Dare. And today I have 2 very loaded questions for Shannon. And the first one is Truth or Dare.
I'm going to have to go with truth.
All right. So my truth for you today is, who is your parasocial enemy? If that question makes sense.
Oh, that is such a good question.
So let me clarify the question in case this phrasing doesn't make sense. But people talk about parasocial relationships. Like there's somebody out there, somebody famous that exists that you like have a weird relationship with. And usually this is parasocial. Like you're obsessed with somebody you've never met before. Or you have like a relationship with them, but it's really only in your head because you've never talked to this person. That's a parasocial relationship. But I'm asking Shannon, who is somebody that she basically has an enemy that is one-sided because this person does not know that she exists.
I mean, there are lots of famous people that I really don't like. But the guy on TikTok, Chris Olsen.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, is it yours? Is he yours?
He is on my parasocial enemy list. I wasn't sure if I was going to say him or not.
That is hysterical. I've had to re-block him like 4 times because trust me, I've never unblocked him. The way he nefariously infects my For You page, and he has like 5 accounts. That's how it is. And I know he went to a bunch of Taylor Swift concerts. I don't care. I don't want to see your videos. I don't want to hear your commentary. I don't want to hear you whine. I don't want to see you at an award show. He's so annoying. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's going to have to be the answer, because that's very niche TikTok. Other than that, I would say mainstream. This is also a very common one. She's probably on your list. Katy Perry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Katy Perry's she's definitely up there.
She's a little spooky.
She is spooky. Something doesn't sit right with me with her.
And she's married to my old childhood flame, who I also had a parasocial marriage with.
Let's talk more about parasocial marriages.
Yeah, we should dive into that, because there's a couple.
I've had none, for everybody's information.
Nicole and I are very different when it comes to boy craziness, I would say.
Maybe it's boy craziness.
But Orlando Bloom was up there.
Yeah. Maybe it's just passion overall. I feel like I'm a little bit, what is the word, aloof? I feel like I could maybe be described as aloof. I'm just like,
la. And I am like so aggressively passionate about anything that I remotely like. It just like becomes me, and I'm so like, maybe is there a hint of OCD in that? Or is that just ADHD? I don't know. OCD runs in the family, so
it does.
Maybe. But yeah, I become obsessed with things, and then yeah, I love them, and I will know everything about them, and a lot of those have been celebrity types, especially if they're cute boys. So I have grown out of that a bit, but you catch me watching Reacher, rewatching season 3 of Reacher.
I haven't even started yet. Isn't that sad? I haven't even started.
It's so good. It's better than the other 2 seasons.
Okay, I'm so excited.
He did such a good job. This book is that book that this season's based on is one of the best. It's so good, but it was so.
I know
good.
I read the book of it. I just don't. Okay. I just haven't watched the show of it, so I'm excited.
It's perfect.
I want to see that.
Anyway, what is your parasocial enemy? Who? Not what.
Katy Perry is kind of like up there, but I don't know if it's as niche or like hot take as maybe some of the other people, because I think a lot of people get weird vibes from Katy Perry. Yeah. It's so funny you say Chris Olsen, because I was thinking Chris Olsen, but I'm like, I also never see him. Like, he's so out. He never comes up on my For You page. Like, I don't want anything to do with him. And I never really, I guess, got the hype. But kind of associated with that is Meghan Trainor. And I don't know if Chris Olsen ruined Meghan Trainor. Because I feel like at some point I kind of liked her. And now it's like, if I see something from Meghan Trainor, I'm like, girl, no.
Amen.
I don't want to know. Yeah. And I think it started somewhere around like when she did her like I Am Your Mother, her mommy song.
Yeah.
At that point, I like all of a sudden was watching, because I think she had a couple other things that had become popular, and I kind of liked her music or whatever, kind of. But then the Mother song came up, and I was like, ugh, like I really don't like this. Whatever. I don't know. It feels a little personal to me. Like to be hating on these people. I know they're real people. I get that.
I know we can't share these as clips because Chris Olsen would find us.
I know, right? This is just for the girlies. But yeah, so I think it might be also Meghan Trainor, but I don't think that that's a hot take either. I think she's super fallen.
She's
from
universally
grace.
Disliked.
Oh, because didn't she say something bad about teachers or something in some interview? I think she said something about hating teachers, and then she was basically canceled. But before that, she did the I Am Your Mother song just to get famous on TikTok. Like it became, all of her music was just for like TikTok dances and TikTok bits, and it's just we can see right through it. You know,
it's not funny. I forgot about the Chris Olsen Meghan Trainor connection because I've blocked them all. But you're so right. Who else was a part of that though? There's somebody else that's like in that little circle.
Well, her husband is Junie from Spy Kids.
Yeah.
So That's another kind of famous
super
person.
Random.
But I do think there is somebody else kind of involved. But that was a weird PR stunt that, like, she hired Chris Olsen to make her more famous, but then everybody didn't like Chris Olsen, I think, and then everybody didn't like Meghan Trainor. It was just like a whole thing. But both of them drive me absolutely crazy. So,
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. Amen.
maybe that's it. And then the only other one I could really think of, which is also extremely niche, is Jordan Page, who is an influencer. Who
Absolutely.
is psycho. Like, I used to like her. We met her. She one time wore my watch when she was giving a presentation. She needed a watch, and I gave her my watch to wear. She did give it back. But she is like self-proclaimed most skilled person on the planet, I think. She knows everything about everything, has never done anything wrong, and teaches everybody else how to be perfect like her. And I would like to tell a story of when the illusion shattered. And it was when I had been watching a lot of her YouTube videos on productivity and stuff like that. And there was a YouTube video that her and her husband did that was like, how to talk to anybody. And I was like, hey, I'm like socially awkward. This seems like a great video for me to listen to because like they obviously know how to talk to anybody because they're influencers. So they're perfect. So then they get on there and this video, it was like this live that I tuned into.
I watched that same live. We were
for
there
like
together.
20 to 25 minutes. They just talked about who knows what. And then they were like, here's what you got to do. You're going to ask someone where they're from. You're going to ask someone what they do for a living. And you're going to ask them what's their family like. And the conversation will never end. Bye, everybody. And I was like, okay. Cool. I need to never listen to anything these people say ever again.
Yeah. Was that the live also? Because they were doing a series of lives together for a while, and they talked about how they basically almost got divorced, and they like went through a period where they didn't like each other at all, and then newsflash, now they're divorced.
They're very, very divorced. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, weren't they also in the game of like, they sold some like marriage course or something, I think?
Yeah. They were talking about like relationship. That was part of their lives, how we work on a relationship, and they were all talking about how great therapy is and yada yada. I'm sorry. If you procreate and you make 8 children and then you get divorced, come on. Why do you keep having babies with someone you don't even like? Stop it.
When they clearly have said, like, even after they had their period of like, we kind of like each other. Now we love each other again. It's like, let's make like
giving
4 more children.
Babies. Yeah, it's giving you had babies for content, and that should be illegal. And they were friends with the Frankies. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Yeah. They went on a cruise. Her and Ruby went on a cruise together, and sorry, but that tells me a lot. And I think there are a lot of other influencers that knew Ruby and did things with her, and yikes. The Utah influencer situation is, and I'm not even talking Secret Wives and Mormon Wives. Like, that is whatever, what did they call themselves? Mom talk? That is even separate than the family vloggers that are using their children as content. And it's one thing and whatever, everybody has different levels. I've gone to basically never sharing my children, except like very occasionally, like a family photo on anything that's public, simply to protect their privacy as they're getting older. I'm really not trying to like be morally above other people that don't. That's your choice. But if you have a certain level of following and you've built that following on pictures of your kids, maybe let's ask us a few questions about the morality of that. And I'm not okay with that. So,
well, that was like the whole generation of Utah influencers pre-Mom Talk. These are like the OG
the
influencers. Mm-hmm. And I feel like people have even talked about how these like Mormon women influencers basically started the influencer business. Yeah. Like they invented this. Yeah. And some of these OGs are a little bit nutty now.
Yeah.
Or always were.
Yeah. And now they just have a platform so we can all see it. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Jordan Page Snark on Reddit. It's a good one.
Oh, that is very entertaining. If I know, we've been talking about this for a little bit. I'm like, people might not even know who this is, but if you go to Jordan Page Snark, you'll just be like, oh my gosh, who is this?
You'll want to know more. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't follow her, but I don't have her blocked simply so I can go look at some of the asinine things that she posts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We are in a whirlwind of salty hatred right now.
This one's like, this is parasocial though, so it's
This
not
is so
real.
fun. Yeah,
This
no,
is
I
not
love it.
Ugh, my mom is outside. I have to go. Quick, before you go, what should I binge this week?
Today we have a very special segment of Basic Binge. We're going to extend it a little bit and we are going to talk about comfort movies. Movies that you keep going back to. These aren't classified as favorite movies per se or best movies. It's just movies that feel like a hug, that are there for you, that have, I don't know, nostalgia. Would you add anything to this description?
Yeah, I think it's just, I added in my mind when I was making this list, like, just movies I get a hankering for. It's like I crave just kind of watching them because they bring me something every time. They always leave me a little something.
Yeah, I love that. I'm interested to see if we have any overlaps.
Okay.
Because we may. But that's just more evidence to it being a great movie. So why don't you go first?
Okay, I basically kind of forgot to, like, go into looking into any of these movies.
Okay, that might be good. Fine.
These are in no particular order.
Okay.
But my first one is 17 Again. I watch that movie at least a couple times a year. And I get this weird craving where I'm like, I haven't watched 17 Again in a while. And I need to watch that tonight. And there's something about Zac Efron in that movie who is so cute. And just I don't know what else. There's not really much else to say to it besides it just feels like a hug. And it does feel like I know what's going to happen. And it always makes me giggle in a lot of different areas of the movie. It makes me giggle in a lot of different areas. Oh, Lord. And yeah, I just love that. Is like prime Zac Efron, though. Let's just talk about that because he's so cute in that movie. So, anyway. 17 Again.
Also, rip Matthew Perry.
I know. But he's only in part of that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said but. Well, he's only in part of that movie.
So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. God. Okay. What's your first one that you're going to talk about?
Okay. While you were sleeping, this movie came out in 1995. And in my opinion, it is tied for the best Sandra Bullock movie. The other one would be Miss Congeniality, but While You're Sleeping is so good. It's so cute. We had it on VHS, and I think pretty much all of my movies we had on VHS, and that's kind of my tie to them. But so it's one of the ones that I would watch when I was sick at home because we had a little TV that you could basically plop into your little, I say little, that thing weighed 480 pounds, okay? But it was like
wasn't moving anywhere.
And we'd watch it this far away from our faces. But it had a little VCR, and so, yeah, this was one, I always thought it was so cute. Her character is so cute. She's so lonely in it, and I think she plays it really, really well, but the family that she just wants to be a part of. She loves this guy or has this crush on this guy, but it's his family she falls in love with. I just think it's so freaking cute. And I could watch it a million times and I laugh through the whole movie.
Yeah, that one is a classic. I do definitely watch that movie when it's available somewhere for streaming. Always around like the holidays when I can.
Mm-hmm.
That's like such a Christmas movie. Well, because it happens on Christmas, I guess. So it's like it happens at Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. Anyway. All right.
All right. What's your next one?
This next one is actually a new movie, a fairly new movie. I think it's the newest movie on my list. And this movie I like so much that this is the reason we pay for expensive Netflix. I don't know if you have to have expensive Netflix to watch this anymore, but when I first watched it, I was babysitting my neighbor's son, and they have expensive Netflix, and so I watched it, and I was like, well, I'm getting expensive Netflix because I'm watching this again tomorrow. And the movie is Anyone But You with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell.
Oh, it's so good. Oh my gosh, so timely for you to have this on your list too.
So what?
timely because they're like together. Have you seen this?
No.
I'm so happy I'm breaking this news to you.
No.
Oh my gosh.
You're not.
Nicole.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So she broke up with her fiance.
I saw that.
The following weekend, she was with Glenn Powell at his sister's wedding and they were together. Like, they are together. Okay? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm speechless.
I
At
know.
a wedding?
So the movie is real, and it was at a wedding too. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's absolutely incredible. That
makes that movie like even better.
Oh, so good. The first time I was watching that movie, I was like kicking my feet, giggling. Like at the end, I was like, like I love that movie so much. So anyway, that's one of my newest comfort movies. Is I just think it is so funny, it's so cute, and I love their chemistry. Because it was apparently real.
Totally. Absolutely real. Oh, Glenn Powell is so cute. They are so cute together. Glenn Powell is just the most all-American guy. When he's swimming and she's like, what did she say? Are you not he's like, I'm not a cardio guy.
Oh yeah. She's like, are you a gym girl hottie or something?
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
I don't remember.
I don't know what she
now
calls
I need
him.
to rewatch it. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that movie. Great one.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one is 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
No.
What? Okay.
It's not on your list, is it?
No.
Okay.
It's crazy.
You don't like 7 Brides for 7 Brothers?
I actually haven't seen it in probably 2.5 decades.
No way. Okay,
Yeah,
I watch this movie probably yearly, and that is so adorable. The music slaps. So good. I know all the words. I love it. I love Millie. She is a strong mama. She gets that house of nasty men all put together and she gets them all cleaned up and so cute. And it's crazy that they kidnap the girls. And I know it's popular right now to talk about 7 Brides for 7 Brothers being, oh, these men stole them away without their consent. They kidnapped them. Blah-de-da. This movie came out in 1954. Okay, it's adorable. Can we not apply real life morals to movies? Because those women weren't that sad, and Millie made sure they were fine. Okay, and they weren't sad because at the end they're the ones who wanted to stay. And at the end, when they all say, one of them says, "I'm pregnant," and all the rest of them said they're pregnant, or somebody heard the baby crying and they said, "It's mine," because they all wanted to stay with the boys. Oh, I think it's so cute. Oh, I just the barn raising scene, all the dancing, love it. I could watch that at any time, any place. Sign me up. So I'm dying that you don't even like that movie.
I mean, literally, I have not seen that movie since I was a wee child, like a very, very small child. And
well, it's on Dad's movies anywhere, so I mean, really? But I don't know. It's so cute. Jared even likes it, and I was gonna show the kids because it's so fun. The music is good.
I do remember liking the music, but I also remember not knowing what's going on. So, do I really have an opinion on it? I don't know.
Yeah, being 8 might be a little young, so you're like, what is? Yeah,
I was probably younger than 8, honestly. The last time I saw it,
probably. The romantic in me, which I am deeply romantic, is like, oh, all these handsome men. Maybe it spurred some sort of fantasy. Kidnapped these women because they just had to have them, and then they stored them away, and I just think it's so cutesy.
It's that one syndrome. What is that called?
Mm-hmm. Stockholm Syndrome.
Stockholm Syndrome, yeah. It
awakens
basically. Stockholm Syndrome in you.
I guess so. Hey, there's lots of books about that. Okay, what's next?
My next one, I would like to have everybody imagine the best movie that Nicolas Cage has ever done, and it will be National Treasure. Thank you. I love National Treasure. I used to be a huge fan of U.S. history. Not to say that I'm not a fan anymore. We're not getting into it.
Now it sucks.
But I used to be really fascinated about like what went on during the American Revolution and how all of that happened and everything. So maybe that's where this obsession kind of started with National Treasure. But I love the puzzling that goes on. I love the mystery of the whole thing. And
Sudoku ass movie.
It's such a Sudoku movie.
Totally.
But this is another one that I get major cravings for when I'm like, yeah, I haven't watched National Treasure in a minute. Gonna need to do that so I can remember everything about U.S. history because it's 100% accurate. And
Totally.
there's so many big, like, I guess, like, famous people in that movie, too. Like, you kind of forget about. And I don't know. I really like it. And I will watch it any day. If anybody ever wants to watch National Treasure or any of these movies.
It's a great one.
I will be
We
down.
should watch that at Branson, maybe. My kids have been asking to watch it, so if you want to watch
I'd love
it,
to.
we can have a National Treasure night. That'd be so fun. A little
We could do
Parmesan
themed-
popcorn.
Theme snacks.
Yeah, that would be so fun. Okay, activity planning commencing. Okay, my next one is the 1998 classic You've Got Mail. This is top tier entertainment. I do wonder, you know, Meg Ryan was the girl for many years, and she did a couple with Tom Hanks, Sleepless in Seattle, and at least one other one. And I wonder, at the time, did people find Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan like hot, or were they just like relatable, and that's why people like them? Because now I feel like only hot people are in rom-coms.
You don't think Meg
Things to
Ryan's
ponder.
hot?
I think she's adorable.
I think
but I
she's
don't
cute.
think she's cute. I mean, I don't think that she's necessarily like but maybe she was supposed to appeal to women. Like, oh, she's this cute, kind of attainable type thing. And I'm not trying to like disparage Meg Ryan, but she's not Sydney Sweeney, you know.
Yeah.
She's not like a bombshell, and she was never supposed to be a bombshell. So anyway, I have curiosities about that. But like Tom Hanks,
No, I don't
mean,
think
he's
Tom
cute
Hanks
in
ever would.
he's charming. There can be charming things about him. Same with like Billy Crystal in the other movie where I'll Have What She's Having movie where they're friends. Oh man, people are screaming. I've actually never seen it. It was rated R, guys. I didn't watch rated R when I was little. Anyway, back to You've Got Mail. That's another one I can watch at any time. Love it in the fall. Love all the Starbucks references. It's very kind of melancholy movie, but so funny. And yeah, also another great sick movie. Yeah.
A classic VHS.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so for my next one, this is not a very popular one. It came out in 2023. All of mine are very right now comfort movies, like things that I still actively am like very, into. So this movie came out in 2023, and Chip and I watched it kind of on a whim a few months ago, maybe. And after I saw it, since I saw it, I guess, I am always open to watching this movie. I think we've watched it 3 times in the past couple of months, and that movie is Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
The one
And
with
it has
Chris
Pine. Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And I love the plot of it. I love how they bring in a lot of the Dungeons and Dragons game, which I don't know a ton about, but I've got a few friends who play Dungeons and Dragons, so I know a little bit about how it works. And so I love how they bring kind of to life how Dungeons and Dragons, the game, actually works. Mm-hmm. And I love the acting in it, and I love the story of it. And it's actually a very solid story. Even though it has some of that flexibility that comes with Dungeons and Dragons, but I like the character development of it all, and I like the twist at the end and all of those things. So that is one of my other current comfort movies.
I love it. I did not see that movie, or I only watched the beginning of it or something. So I guess I'm gonna have to give it another shot.
You might have to, and it might not be for everybody, but I think that it's Chris Pine peak. I think it's a perfect character for Chris Pine, and I really like Chris Pine. I know he's been kind of looking a little freaky in some things lately.
People love him.
Bit ill,
no.
but he actually looks better in this than he did in Wonder Woman. The last Wonder Woman movie, he did not look good. He looks better in this one, so I hope he's doing well. I wish him the best.
We love you, Chris Pine.
We love you. I really do really like Chris Pine, and he very much concerned me in Wonder Woman 2. I was like, whoa, you are not looking.
It's because he hated that movie. He was like, I'm contractually obligated to do this. Yeah.
Yes.
Not a comfort movie. Kal-El, no.
No.
Give me the stone.
Enough champagne to fill the Nile. Too much.
Man. So
Anyway.
bad.
I would really
That's a
recommend it.
good one.
I don't think it's very popular. I feel like a lot of the people here have watched it, and I would really encourage everybody to watch it. If it feels boring at first, I'd say push through, because I think it's a
Okay.
cute one. So
I'll have to. I'm nerdy enough to probably enjoy that. So
yes. All right.
okay, my next one is Return to Me.
Oh,
And this movie came out in the year 2000. And it is a heartbreaker. And I think part of the appeal of this movie, the guy, Dave Duchovny, sorry, everyone's yelling at me, from X-Files. He's so vulnerable in this movie. And his wife was that cute lady from Mighty Joe Young. And then she dies. And that scene where he comes home and he's sobbing with the dog, I can't even watch it. Okay. I usually fast forward that part because unless I'm looking for some reason, like a jump start to crying, but he's so vulnerable. In what other movies do you see a husband grieving or like crying like that? Very, very few. And I just think Minnie Driver is the cutest character. And I always wondered growing up why she was so self-conscious of her heart scar. Like she was always covering it up. And maybe it was just that she didn't want to talk about it or seem weak or whatever. But I just love that movie. I think it is the cutest little concept that this part of his wife, I literally could cry talking about it, but her heart wanted to be with him, and the heart couldn't have found a better person. And I think it's super funny. I love all the old guys and yeah, it's like gives you zest for life, I feel like.
Yeah. The last time I watched that movie, I tried to watch it, and I remember I was running on the treadmill in my apartment in Rexburg, and I was trying to watch that movie, and I was just running and sobbing, and I had to just stop. Like I was like, I cannot watch this movie.
Can't do it.
Like I have to.
I have to correct myself. I am so sorry, guys. She is not from Mighty Joe Young. I got everything in my brain mixed up. Obviously, that's Charlize Theron. I was thinking Mighty Joe Young because in Return to Me, she's like the gorilla lady. Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize and carry on. Okay.
Okay,
I was
yeah,
about
no
to
problem.
fling myself out the window.
I was kind of wondering. I'm like, I really don't remember Charlize Theron in this, but I haven't seen it in a long time, so what do I know?
No, it was not Charlize Theron. Sorry, but there was gorillas. So
Yeah,
there's
it's
the
just-
combination. I haven't seen it in a little while. Okay.
Yeah,
Now I have to.
it's a classic.
So, okay, what is your last one?
My last one is Twilight Saga: New Moon.
Amazing. Perfect.
I
So
love New Moon, and I really like Twilight, and it makes me want to also hide at the same time. You know how they say that like fear and excitement is the same feeling in your body? Have you ever heard that?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel like Twilight. Like, I kind of hate it so much, but I can't tell if it's love or hate. You know, like,
Yeah.
but I'm also afraid, and I'm excited. So that's how I feel about Twilight: New Moon, and I love Taylor Lautner in this movie is so amazing, and he was so young when he did this.
Such a baby. Yeah.
But I think they all just do a fantastic job with what they've been given. With
tried their best.
what they had to work with. No, I seriously do. I love this movie, and I will watch it. I like
so
it better
good.
than the first Twilight, and I usually don't make it past the first two Twilights when I decide to watch Twilight, but I do love New Moon, and I love... Maybe I just like it because Edward isn't in that movie for the most part.
Yeah, maybe. His eyeballs, except the end, he might ruin at the end. The self-revealing. Yeah, that's a great one.
Much. So anyway, that's a definite comfort movie for me. So.
Poor Taylor Lautner. I will never not think about him doing a backflip at the Eras Tour when they released that. Poor guy is like the most normal bro on the planet, and he is just like trying to be fine with being in the spotlight with the Taylor Swift of it all, and not just with the backflip, with the all of it. And it just he tries.
I love him explaining that. He's like, I got so excited I didn't know what to do.
Hey, fear and excitement are the same feeling, so.
I love
gosh.
All right,
Okay.
what's your last one?
My last one, I'm like the old lady here, but 1991. Picture yourself like curled up, sick again, watching this on VHS, Father of the Bride. Steve Martin. And that movie, Father of the Bride, Diane Keaton, adorable. Also love Father of the Bride too. I'm just lumping both of those together, but I've seen Father of the Bride 1 way more. Steve Martin, hilarious. Also, Annie was the cutest thing in the world, and I just loved the perspective, and I love Franck, and I just love Father of the Bride. It's a classic, and I will watch it anytime, all the time.
Yeah. I don't know who in our house was obsessed with that movie. Maybe it was you, maybe it was Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, but that movie was playing in our house all the time. I love that movie.
Me.
I love
I think
that
it was
movie.
me. Yeah.
So good. And Father of the Bride too, amazing. But
It's just as good.
We watched that movie so much, and I love it. I have no complaints. I do love that movie. Of your list, I think that's the movie that I've seen the most and that I genuinely remember loving as a kid.
Yeah. And it holds up. It's still so cute. And the whole basis of it. I think there's a part of me that, my sadness of never having a daughter, I can pin a little bit to that movie, I think. And it's just this whole, like, the dad and giving away his daughter. And I always kind of wanted to see Jared in that role. But I think that kind of set up some of my life expectations, maybe. Also, I loved her wedding. And, growing up, our ideas of weddings were different, but I loved the regular wedding, and I loved her dress, and it was just so sweet. And in the backyard, I don't know, I think it was just this kind of attainable dream, I guess.
Yeah. I remember that. I feel like the blender scene formed me as a person. Her getting offended about the blender. I was like, that's like my first step towards feminism. I'm like, yeah, of course she's mad about the blender. Yeah. Of course, that's not appropriate.
When he's so upset in the bar, and he's like, I didn't mean it like that. I was just trying to get her. And of course, it's like, yeah, he didn't mean it like that. And she chilled out. But yes. Oh, and he was cute. The fiance he's cute too.
He's super cute. So I love that about that movie too, that he's genuinely such a good guy. Everybody's a good guy, but Steve Martin's so
yeah. The hot dog scene, when he is ripping open the hot dog buns, I think about that every time I buy hot dogs.
All the time. I'm not even kidding you. This past, or I guess 2 weekends ago, we were buying hot dogs at Sam's Club. And the amount of buns do not match up with the amount of hot dogs. And I was referencing, I was like, it's like a Father of the Bride where he loses his mind and starts ripping open a hot dog bag.
Suit that's all old fashioned and ripped, and he's trying to save money and he doesn't want to buy himself a new suit because the wedding's so expensive, and he's just like ripping it open manically. Oh, it's so good. And Diane Keaton, I think that's part of why I love it too, because Diane Keaton is so cool-headed in the whole thing, his wife. And she comes and she's like, are you done? Like, can you chill out, please?
Yeah.
Come on. Their chemistry was so good in that movie.
Yeah, I do love
Oh, what a great list. This is great. I'm so excited that we had totally different lists, and I'm inspired to go watch some other movies.
Yeah, I know. I haven't watched a lot of those older movies. When I was sick this past sickness, where I was like literally laying in bed for like 4 days, I watched so many classic movies, but I mostly focused on movies I hadn't seen before.
Oh, okay.
But I was about to venture into these other classic movies that I haven't seen in a long time, just not Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
If you didn't love it growing up, I can't promise that you'll love it now, but but it's good.
Maybe I'll give it a try next time I'm sick and I got nowhere else to be.
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh man, well, this has been so good. Your guys' mom, they're outside. All your moms. There's a pile up of moms.
They're piled up there honking. It's loud. Noise complaints. You guys gotta go.
Get out of here. We love you. Subscribe, rate, review, share. Text us and tell us how pretty we are. Okay?
Comments. You can also comment.
Yeah, comment. Oh man, we got a weird comment on YouTube, but maybe do some good comments on YouTube. Yeah.
I guess he was telling us how pretty we were.
He was. And more words than, and less words. I
In
guess.
so many words. All right, guys, we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.